Welcome to the After 8 Hours, Jack 1620 and Jay Titan. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm fucking tired because I had to stop a flood in my house.
Yeah.
So that was exhausting.
We've been getting a lot of rain this summer in general. Like, not, I wouldn't say a lot. Okay, we've been more than typical.
Yeah,
maybe.
for Colorado, yes.
For us, you know, we kind of live in an arid, almost desert climate sometimes.
Desert, for sure.
So it's like, we've been getting a good amount of rain this year, especially compared to last year. We didn't get any. We were just like desperate.
And
like,
I typically do love the rain, but when it was like this, I don't know what you call it, like a monsoon,
or a typhoon,
like this drop storm that just hit us not too long ago from when we started recording this podcast. It was literally just the streets were flooded. I was watching like whirlpools happening around the inlets.
Yeah.
And everything, and then I just go home and happen to find like 6 inches in a water well. So this is a time for you to like really check your basement, make sure shit's not flooding, and if it is, get that shit fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say that because I had something similar here at the house. The room in which the window well is next to is empty, so that's a plus for me. Versus you have someone living in that room, so it's a little different there. But yeah, it's a good time to check because, you know, it's supposed to be raining a little bit more this week. Like tomorrow, it's supposed to be raining in the morning, during the day.
And see, like the past rains, when it's light, that's fine.
Right, but it's like the torrential downpour.
Yes, it's like these like day after tomorrow rains that where it's concerning.
Roland Emmerich's wet dream, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of, like I said, it's been kind of nice. I've been liking, you know, at least the rain itself, but like these moments are just like my basement's flooding, or you know, you have to do a lot of extra effort to go cover it. But anywho, so that's been fun. Outside of that, you know, we just finished a couple of cool things in Pokemon Go, and there's a couple of cool things on the horizon. First and foremost, we did the Goonies. Zigzagoonies Community Day for Galarian Zigzagoon. You know, for us, it was kind of interesting. We thought there'd be more people out in our area.
Indeed.
We don't know where you guys went. Maybe went up to Boulder or something. But
I saw afterward because I was on, I think it was it the Colorado? It was
Pokemon Go Colorado does post.
Well, it was like the Facebook group for Colorado, or just Pokemon Go Colorado, and they had mentioned what it was. And this person, whoever it was, had a deep analysis of like their adventure.
Okay.
Which I'm glad they agreed with my sentiment. Like the venue in 29th Street is not really good.
No.
And but their picture looked great. Everyone looked like they're having a good time. They were definitely happy about the social element, which I'd agree with. That's one of the main like attractions of Community Day,
for sure,
is being able to meet new trainers, say hey, watch other trainers, but they're like food wise, nothing's there. Parking wise, not the greatest.
Absolutely trash.
This now I was like, that sounds exactly like 29th Street Mall, because it's not the greatest of spots. Like there's a lot of others, and I really hope Niantic takes into consideration, like we were talking about, the many other good locations in Colorado, because they have a map where they have it marked,
like
where
the
players,
hot zones for where players play.
Where the players play. And hopefully they consider some of the other ones to give them a shot, because I think there's a lot of good... I'm not just going to focus on Aurora, but there's a lot of good spots for Niantic where I think it could be more conducive to get the people out there. It could be more nature-filled or more scenic. Then Boulder's scenic, but it's what you see in the mountains, not within the town itself in some ways.
Like I was kind of surprised they didn't do maybe City Park. Like you would almost say Wash Park, but the parking situation in Wash Park's probably even worse than 29th Street.
They really need a parking structure.
Yeah, Wash Park's parking is absolutely awful, but Wash Park's a great area.
It's a beautiful
to have people meet up for that. You know, when we went out a few years ago, when we were doing like community days and stuff out there, it was insane. There's like 63 stops, all these gyms, etc. You know,
63 stops, 11 gyms.
There's probably more now. Even.
I'm sure.
And you know, it's got a good loop. It's got a good amount of distance. Like it's a great place to play, but the parking's trash. So it's like hard to recommend that. But like what I was hoping from Niantic, and we kind of discussed that, was like, hey, a lot of people play in these areas. Like it doesn't have to be just Boulder for Colorado. Like you're having people come in from different areas of Colorado. Why not just host it in different areas? Like I'm probably still not going to go to Colorado Springs, for instance, but I imagine there's probably a decent venue in Springs that you can do a meetup for the month, and then Denver proper.
I think they're building
or
like an
Lakewood.
Olympic museum down there.
Yeah,
I believe.
there's an Olympic museum. There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch
I
of
don't
stuff being
know how I
built.
know
Like, Colorado
that.
Springs is kind of popping off.
They're trying to get up there. They don't want to be known as a crack city.
Right, exactly.
Which is good. Good job changing it.
But yeah, so it's like instances like that. You know, you could Aurora might be harder like, unless it's AMC or something like that. But it's just like. But you know, there's plenty of parks and plenty of areas in the different areas. You know, Lakewood, Littleton. Yeah. Like you could go almost anywhere. But they're like, no, let's hit the same spot over and over and over again. And I was a little disappointed in that idea.
Isn't too bad.
Yeah, but the way Niantic, unless they show me else,
I don't want the routine to
different.
set.
I just don't think they're gonna ever try a different meetup.
Well, going forward, so we didn't have as big of a turnout as we thought. But in terms of our Fill a Backpack virtual fundraiser, I think we did exceedingly well. So when we started at the beginning of this week, so the week of the Zigzagoon Community Day, so that Monday, I think we only had $108 and some change.
Yeah, roughly.
Out of 809 as our goal. And as of today, which is Monday, we have $946.03.
It's almost 950, and our goal was 809.
Fuck yeah!
We went cheeky because we're like, hey, there's Gen 7 Pokemon. There's 809 total Pokemon. Let's set our goal for 809. And you know, one half of me was like a little worried because we haven't had a lot of interaction with a lot of people recently.
Yeah, it's quiet.
On the other hand, I was like, no, we can do that. Like our community can come together and do that. And then at the beginning of the week, it's like 108, and you're just like.
Well, it was like it was just kind of sitting there, and we only had like 2 donators. Like, again, the people who I could see donated, I knew it was at least 2. And then we did the second advertisement and actually kind of went into the nitty gritty of what the PlayStation was, and then that's where we saw a spike.
And that bumped. And for those that didn't know, we got a PlayStation 5 with a whole bunch of like things, like a couple games and a controller and stuff, donated for this cause. And so if you bought a ticket at a certain price point, you got an entry into a raffle for that. So we actually just pulled a raffle. So we wanted to say congratulations to Captain Croissantwich on the Aurora Masters Discord. Congratulations. Yay! That's awesome. Thank you so much for your donation. And thank you everyone who donated. It's amazing that the community can still come together and do some really awesome stuff. This is a really good program too. The Fill a Backpack, it's with Precious Child. A couple of teachers who have benefited directly from the event or from this sort of thing. We paired up with them years back and that was super successful and it was really good. We even had Pat. Shouts to Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Come on by. Pat's like, I don't even want to fucking play this game, but he came through he's like, I just need my 3 and I'm good.
Yeah, I love that.
So he came through. He brought a backpack, which we're gonna donate and figure out what to do with I
know plenty of people that will utilize it, that work with kids that could utilize those resources, so it will find a great home.
Yeah, so shouts to Pat. But it was great, and the Goon Day itself was fine. I'm still recovering from my surgery, so I wasn't mobile,
which makes perfect sense. Like, you need to chill.
Sitting there at the bench. I've been doing too much on my foot anyway, but I was sitting there at the bench manning the table or whatever, had a couple people pop in. It was nice to see people again, people talking, asking about what we're doing. Some people donated on the spot in person, including our winner, Captain Croissantwich.
Yeah, actually the last donation.
The last possible donation.
Which was awesome.
Which is super cool. But yeah, so it was really good. I still managed to get 9 shiny goons just sitting there at the bench.
Like, once I got up and like migrated a bit, and again, I was actually surprised because we didn't activate the Linoon thing.
No,
there wasn't enough of us to like do that, which is great because that was my biggest fear, was that Linoons would overpower us and we didn't get them.
Right.
So we just were able to play regular, and I was like, sweet. But like, maybe that's how it should be. I don't know. Because I didn't hear
maybe they tuned it down a little bit, yeah.
Maybe they did. Maybe they needed more people to activate that perk.
Right.
Who knows? But it was nice. We had a lot of snacks get picked up. People were definitely down for the popsicles because it's hot as
oh my gosh, yeah.
And hopefully Boulder people, you guys didn't suffer from heat exhaustion or anything like that. And again, because Colorado's random as fuck. But that was dope. After we went and got Angry Chicken and just kicked it with some folks.
Oh, that was a good time.
So that was sweet. So again, if you come to AMC and you hang out with us, we usually go get food afterward, and you're more than welcome to join if you would like.
Absolutely. You want to hang out with people.
We always try to support local business, and at the same time, just find a good place to just chow the fuck down.
Just chill. Chow and chill. That's what we're all about.
Indeed, it could.
No, it was great. Like I said, so Community Day was a lot of fun. Fill a Backpack was super good.
Oh, the other thing, for the previous one, the National Compassion Fund.
Yeah.
Because I've been kind of slacking on getting the total, but we also had some other donations I needed to gather.
Yeah.
That one totaled out to be $258.
Hey, that's great.
So that's another donation we'll be making this month for the National Compassion Fund, which again helps victims of hellacious acts like mass shootings and things of that nature. It's
horrendous acts of evil.
Yeah, pure fuckery.
But yeah, no, that's great. And like I said, I'm super happy that even if you're feeling maybe the community's a little dying out or a little quiet, we can still come together and do things like that. And the community's coming back slowly but surely. There's a lot of things kind of on the horizon.
Well, I think even in the past, this donation round has been way more than we even typically get.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
In a year or something. So that's fucking awesome. So congrats and thank you all for the donations.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jack's doing 1,000,000,000% of the work. So shouts to Jack.
I try.
Over here doing the most. But it's super good to be able to come together and have those types of things. Like I said, really thankful to be part of the community and really thankful for all you guys helping out. The next bits we have, like I said, so one topic we were talking about, and we kind of sent out a survey not that long ago, was how can we help revamp Aurora Masters, because the community wants to, we keep getting a lot of people like, hey, can we do raid hours? Hey, can we do things together? Can we kind of, liven this place up? Is it dead? Is it active? Blah, 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 blah. So we threw out a survey, so if we wanted to go over some of the results of that survey.
Yeah.
The top 5 in terms of player interest, and we can go one by one or however.
First
one was shiny collecting.
That was a top one.
So that's probably numero uno. Why do you play Pokemon Go? What gets your rocks off?
Me?
What's getting you at least full staff or 3/4 staff? Maybe
3/4 staff. It's usually mine is the nostalgia factor, which shows up as number 4.
Okay, that's still huge.
My big thing now, because I've been a lead for as long as I have been, again, is a social element. Because before, when I first started playing, thinking back to 2016, I was pretty much a lone wolf, with you, and your sister, and then the few other players who I'd kind of casually meet. This is back when Murphy Laws and a lot of other people reigned supreme in the world, and there was fights for gyms. There was a lot of gang initiations.
That's when the instinct chat was at their peak.
And that's when that's when they were even scoping out people just to join,
rolling around
and
taking over the city. With
but
members. The
social element was, I was like, oh wow, this is a lot deeper than I thought. Once people like Murphy's Laws and Herb and Dotman X were you should look in the Discord and you should join us.
Yeah, because you weren't even using Discord before.
I had no idea what Discord was.
So we, as a gamer or whatever, I had been using Discord for a while just for different things, chatting with friends and playing games that way. But then they're like, it wasn't until it was a raid weekend, our old raid weekends with Murphy Law, and then you're like, hey, you should come out, and I was like, sure, and we did, and then like you said, that got the wheels turning.
It really did.
You should start doing this, and then infamously from Noel was just gluttons for punishment type deal. It's like, hey, like you said, the community aspect goes a lot deeper, the social aspect goes a lot deeper, and we've met some really great people just with this game, which is why we're kind of passionate about hey, the community aspect. That's my favorite part of Pokemon Go. I love the nostalgia factor. I love Pokemon. Getting a shiny is always fun. I like collecting the shinies. I've moved past the getting angry at not getting a shiny, but
I'll get angry, but not like I used to be.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I've improved.
Maybe not moved past, but I'm getting better.
It's still there. It's a little frustration.
So we can go through the rest of these real quick and kind of come back around.
Definitely.
So shiny collecting was number 1. Catching Pokemon in general was number 2.
Makes sense. It's part of the theme song.
Yeah, gotta catch them all. Number 3 is exercise. Getting out, exercising. That's a big. That
actually caught me off guard. I was
pretty interesting.
Really?
Number 4 is the nostalgia. So some of us have played every Pokemon game since release, and all this other stuff. There's a lot of nostalgia there. Number 5 is the legendary Pokemon. The rating.
It was actually a three-way tie for number 5, which is those three.
Okay, so legendary Pokemon, rating, and the community and socializing aspect of it. So all of those I vibe with heavy.
Hardcore.
Naturally, the shiny collecting is huge. Catching Pokemon in general, I do have a lot of fun just chucking balls at stuff, and I it's sometimes it's nice when like the bug out event for instance right now.
Yes.
They give you the whole like list of you got to do 16 things. You got to catch these Pokemon, you got to evolve these ones, find these ones out in the wild or whatever.
Dudes, the Skorupi was a bitch. I don't know why he was so hard to find for me.
Yeah.
I didn't find him until I was like driving by Chili's. And he happened to appear, and I had...
Yeah, he was coming out with Margarita in his little claws, just like, hey, what's good?
Just going away. And I'm driving to go check on my mom, because she had surgery. Like, it's been a really crazy week, or last 2 weeks.
Right.
And I see him, and immediately I'm, like, taking out both phones, like, trying to make sure I click it.
I should have flagged you.
Why?
I got mine at AMC right before we left for Angry Chicken.
It was afterward, then all the Skorupi are out.
Oh, okay.
But I was trying to finish the mission before anything ended.
Well, so Carla was struggling. I think she was still struggling with the Skorupi too, because it was hard. And like, I had seen one downtown before I left for work. I think like on Thursday or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll get one." I missed it. I didn't get the tap on it because I was on the train. So I was like, "I'll get another one later." I didn't see one. And then, like, as at AMC, after Community Day ended and we were packing up, we're going to Angry Chicken, I see one in the corner by the bench we were just sitting at, and I was like, tap, got it.
Get him.
Get him. Game. Blouses.
Yes.
So, no, that was fun. But, like, catching Pokemon, like I said, in general, especially, it's super nice when there's new Pokemon to catch.
Yeah.
Or, like, these events, like the Bug Out event, or...
The Grubbin.
Getting little Grubbin, because Vigivol's dope.
Vigivol's that was one thing we did when we were at Angry Chicken was I got my Vigivol.
Like, hey, yo.
I was like, I'm out to throw down the magnetic lure.
I'm going to throw down the lure.
And again, one of my pet peeves someone did at AMC, but it was understandable but still annoying, was it threw down the typed lures.
Like, yeah, don't use thematic lures.
If you're going to use those lures, just make sure they're on, like, the outskirts, which in this case it kind of was. It was just sad because... I don't know if I just need to circle it on a map for people so they know not to throw them at like certain high spawn areas.
Yeah.
Because when they're themed, they'll just be of that themed Pokemon, not of the Community Day stuff.
Right.
And so that's where it kind of gets frustrating because then you're like, shit. Like, there's Venonats popping up when I'm looking for Zigzagoons.
It's like, bro, I want the Zagoons.
Yeah, so there's specific stops at AMC that... Which ones can I think of? So the one in the fountain, furthest off,
for sure,
is one to do.
Like right now.
The stop that's across the street from the roundabout.
Okay.
Is another good one to put a themed lure on because not many people are walking. That's a pretty far one to get to.
Yeah.
And then the other one that would be a good one to throw a themed one is in the Xeriscape area by the RTD stop on the Alameda side.
Okay.
It's the one like furthest in the corner.
Right.
Because again, it's not you have to walk out of your way to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for the best because it's not interfering with everyone's typical pathways.
Right, you're not interrupting the specific Pokemon for like Community Day or whatever, but you are but you're still able to get those, or like certain evolutions take place during those. That's kind of important. Kind of nice to have, and like I don't mind the thematic lures because like tapping 400 Zigzagoons kind of gets old, but at the same time, like I'm there to catch Zigzagoons.
And I like it because you get that chance to evolve those boys,
right,
for 3 hours, so it really maximizes.
But you're just like, hey, I want to. But like you said, keep it out of like kind of the main traffic areas because like some people they've never been to AMC. They don't know where the high spawn points are. They things like that. So it's just like understanding is like, why is there 30 Venonats here?
Like, gosh darn it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be catching goons.
Exactly.
But anyway, but that's a little peppy. But it worked out. And then so going back to our 5 points here, that like you said, exercise. That was an interesting one.
I'm glad it's there.
I'm super glad. Colorado is one of the more fit states.
Well, we're not
in the country.
We have that theme, but it's not. I think statistically, it's not. I think
statistically, actually, we're number one.
Are we?
Yes.
Still?
Yeah.
Even after COVID?
I'm pretty sure.
I would double check that.
Because with everyone else, COVID fucked their numbers up too.
Yeah, and I assume that's why after COVID, or like coming out of COVID into whatever new virus themed world we're about to approach, that exercise is going to be key. And again, it's a good thing, and it helps with it being the season to go. Niantic wants us out more, get out there, socialize, do all that stuff, enjoy the memories, as number 4 says. And then again, being out there for raids, raiding, and communicating, all that is really active. So you need to be on your feet or in your vehicles. Obviously, drive, moving,
experiencing,
moving to some capacity,
experiencing places not your house or yard.
Yeah, like obviously with even like the fucking 15-minute lures. Like that's an appeal to get you moving.
Popping.
Apparently, the trick that we were learning at AMC was to walk in a straight fucking line where there's no stops, and that's how you maximize your lure.
Yeah.
And I can kind of attest to it because when I drive to work, it's a pretty straight line, and I just have it off to the side. And again, I'm not advocating for driving and playing.
Jack doesn't do that.
Allegedly, I'm just a bad person.
Allegedly, his Pokemon Go. I
have a passenger at all times that plays for me.
Mm-hmm. His name is Jack 1621.
Mm-hmm. Or one of the babies. I just have a spirit person just there to help guide my way. So my turtle does in my car.
Yeah,
the turtle helps me.
The turtle plays.
He's always there.
I've seen it.
I've seen it. But yeah, so what was some of the other things from the survey? So one, there is an interest for team pages again, which is kind of cool.
So like the Instinct chat, the Valor chat, the Mystic chat.
So yeah, ideally that's I do kind of like that there's interest, even though it's pretty slim. The voting was like really close. But I think it would help for a lot of these new players to also make sure the new players register their roles and their assignments accordingly. So like they register
make sure you
for
get
their
filed
teams.
into the proper gang. You know, like MS-13 over here, Crips over here, Bloods over here.
Stop.
Is that not how that works?
No, those are gangs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. When it comes to Pokemon, we just have like, what would you call them? Like
mustard,
tribes?
Ketchup, and I don't know, blue sauce would be, but
ew.
Right? Ranch? Just call them Ranch?
No, Ranch is better than Mystic.
That's fact.
But what would you call them?
I think Tribes is fine. I think Tribes is
Tribes,
okay.
Squads. So I think it'd be good because then it would get people to actually
Survivor, right? Tribes.
Yeah, they're called Tribes. It'd just be good to have people know who the other players are in their teams for better coordination, because I know a lot of the OG players have kind of went back to their old ways, which is fine. But there's a lot of new players who don't know who's all in their groups until they, by chance now, raid with them. Yeah. Which again,
is so slim.
Yeah, like it's weird running into Instinct because I'm like, I haven't seen Instinct in so long.
It's been outside of like years.
Yeah, outside of like the group, and even then I don't see them too often. Because they'll play when they want to play, which is how you should play.
Yeah, exactly.
But it would be nice to see other trainers. Now,
well, and I think that's huge because, like, it, you know, if you're new and if you're not used to the people or the area, for instance, like that, you're going to be more like inclined to join a group that you're familiar with in the terms of like, what do you have a similarity with?
Yeah,
you know,
you have one commonality of like we share the same team. So like me being like a non-sports player, or just not knowing sports, I can recognize Avalanche or Broncos, and I would feel just inherently safer going over to those people to be like, hey, where are the Broncos or Avalanche things? And they could point me in the direction because we have that shared trait.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. So it's like, and I remember back in the day, those chats were kind of popping. Instinct not so much because you had your own separate thing, but like Mystic and Valor specifically was popping.
Didn't they have their own Discord?
You had like rowdy kids, and then eventually they started a separate Valor Discord. Yeah, I remember
Which is wild.
But anyway, the Valor chat was popping. There was a good amount of people, and they'd sit in there, they'd have normal conversations, get to know each other, and it's all because they had that likeness of they're all Team Valor. And so that was pretty cool. Now, it wasn't like super tribal where it's like, oh, well, fuck Instinct or fuck Mystic, outside of joking. You know, we always joke Team Mistake or whatever, but like, you know, outside of that, they were never actually hostile towards the other teams per se.
As you were speaking, as a random side note, my roommate now has an embroidery machine, and I was just thinking,
bedazzle
for like
some jean
instinct
jackets.
players. Well, just imagine not bedazzling, but just like you can embroider the instinct logo on like a shirt, like a polo.
Uh-huh.
I would love that instead of seeing like the look like Lacoste or whatever alligator. It's just Zapdos on my chest. Yeah, there's a cute little Zapdos or some like little accents, and I was thinking that'd be kind of cool as like something for like.
I was thinking about doing a face tattoo.
Yes, I would agree. I think Valor that
instead of the little teardrop, it's a little Moltres.
It's a Moltres. I think you guys should just have the shiny Moltres and just be like, we go raw all the time.
Raw dog it.
Raw dog
it 24/7.
Sweet Jesus. No, but that'd be dope. Like, when I was just thinking, I was
fun.
like,
I wanted to try to do.
I want to do bandanas.
Bandanas would be cool. No, I was gonna say I wanted to do the team logos, but with the Galarian birds.
Ooh,
do like a version of the like Instinct, but it's
like that would actually be pretty dope. Like if you have like both of them,
yeah,
you could do like mirror, like a split.
Yeah, and you could even do like because like Moltres is like black and that beautiful magenta.
Design it, bitch. You got the power.
I should, yeah. I was thinking about it, but anyway, you can still embroider those too. Just like,
yeah.
Wow,
Ooh.
your instinct, but your instinct is like crazy cool. Like, what it's the fuck is that?
We are crazy cool. We exist. We're relevant. Anyway,
allegedly. So
I think that'd be dope.
I think it'd be fun, but to your point, that'd be super cool. But going back to kind of what we were talking about in terms of like the channels, because I remember. Because of my role in the server, I could go into I can go into Mystic Chat, and then people were like, "Is he allowed in here? Like, why is he here? He's Valor." Like,
could they see you? Like, when you type something?
You can see me in the corner. Like, you can see what channels I'm allowed in. But also, it's just like I also respond. Someone asked a question and no one had answered it, so I answered it for them.
Like, what are you doing here?
And then they're like, "Is he supposed to be here? He's Valor. He's not Mystic." It's like, look, bro, like
I see. Oh.
Yeah. Guess what? You can't hide it from me. But anyway, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Like you said, just gives people another resource to learn about the area and connect with people, and that's huge. Because like again, back in the day, like you knew some of the Valor kids.
I did.
You know,
they were rowdy.
Like, so, but like we'd go over to some of like Moonflower raids, and you'd see like some of those Valor crew
like
running around. But it's like the same. Like we knew the Instinct crew.
Yes.
Even though, again, they had their own separate Instinct chat. But that was something that those people could bond over.
And something they formulated well before this was there.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, that's the kind of energy we're going for. Like, you can still have that kind of resource, but on our Aurora Masters. But I did think that was interesting. Like you said, the vote was pretty close, but it's something maybe we can promote and like help people kind of connect better.
Yeah.
We did also add, I don't know if you wanted to talk about the Go Beyond section. So
yeah, so the Go Beyond section was just because how I kind of phrased it to people was Aurora Masters needs to evolve like the rest of the world. And so Go Beyond is going to be kind of a subsection or a section of the Discord that is just more than just Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So ideally it's to talk about other interest points. So the top 4 that were there, and again, we could kind of go over the other maybe another time, but there was a lot of options. I think I put like 20 options out there, and 4 of them basically made the cut.
Okay.
So there's seasonal activities, which will be kind of more focused on like again the actual season. So like
fall, Halloween,
spring, yeah, like those.
Okay.
Social shindigs are going to be more for like concerts and things of that nature. So people are like, hey, I want to go see a show or to promote.
Yeah, like Millennium's going to have a huge show in Denver next year. Does anyone else want to go to a giant EDM concert?
Or Heroes is doing a car show this weekend. Who wants to go? Or there's a farmer's market over here. I really want to go and play Pokemon. Who would like to go with me? That is the kind of social shindigs that you could kind of promote in there. Ren Fair, like if you want to get a group of Pokemon trainers and make yourselves look
There's
like...
There's a stop out there.
There is a good amount of stops. Plus, again, it's just a great experience.
It's just fun.
And say you're like, hey, I want to dress up like a bunch of Valor players or a bunch of Instinct players or Mystic players.
Yeah, I'd like to be a medieval Valor knight. Yeah,
be
fine.
Themed. Whoops.
Wow.
Be themed for the Renaissance or whatever. Do it.
Yeah.
And also the Ren Fair has the thematic weekends too, so you could dress up for certain things that they want to do. I think they have like a pirate weekend, so you can pick.
Team Aqua.
The
Team
other
Aqua.
thing is a Pokemon Switch channel for trades and other things. So like they're going to be coming out with Scarlet and Violet here in a bit. So like people who want to, that's going to be a multiplayer game. So that's something where you can maybe meet other trainers in the area and be like, hey, I'm looking for this, or I need friends for this.
Or it's like you can play with up to 3 players on the same world. So it's like, hey, Jack, you want to roll with me? Hey, let's pick up Captain Croissantwich and
do it
and Fluffy or something like that.
Fluffy D.
You know, let's all roll around in Scarlet and Violet together. Yeah, that's a great channel for that. And like you said, there's always stuff to do in those games. Like you're the, for lack of a better term, breeder. Like you breed a shit ton for trades. And it's like with the global
I'm a hatch
market,
master for sure.
Like there's a global market, and that's what you send your like, space uteri into.
I do a lot of. I do a lot of work in Pokebank, Pokemon Home, and I also do a lot of hatching work, which is the breeding. And so, I am very active in that and trading, looking for shinies and legendaries.
Jack. Pokemon
so that could
Daddy.
be a channel for you. The last channel, which again ties into kind of some of the initial conversation, is a wellness resource. And I've actually outreach to Stevie Pogo, one of the OG founders of this podcast, and he said he'd even be down to help out with that. And basically what we want to do with that is put out resources, not just for physical exercise, but also mental health. And so
like even
because I was talking to Dreamer about roles and assignments, and that's something we could probably continue more offline. But I want to make a roles for someone who can kind of help spearhead that as the Brains and Bronze trainers from Pokemon the game. And I was trying to find like role titles that were related to Pokemon trainer types. And I think a Brains and Bronze fits perfectly because we wanted to focus on mental and physical health. And talk about like nutrition and other things like that too.
Like I want the fucking thickest dumpy possible. So that resource is there. But I've been dealing with crippling depression because my dumpy's not thick enough. How do I deal with that? Well, there might be a resource there.
So if we know of any like counseling resources, that'd be something we'd post up and you could search for.
And these are resources for everybody. And you can get this information from like as silly as it might seem, like TikTok, for instance, is a huge place where you can actually
a fuck ton of TikTok
learn
videos.
A lot of stuff from.
I download gobs, but again, I also like to do research, so like I get a lot of like shortcut quick resource tips from it. So some of the websites of like, I think it was like Eat This or some like, there's websites that you can literally like, well, I'm wondering if I'm saying it correctly, but basically the website is you put down what's in your fridge or pantry, and out of that, it'll tell you what you can cook. So like, I think a resource like that would be dope for, again, younger kids who maybe aren't versed at cooking to adults who want to finally try cooking and are done and looked at their DoorDash bill and was like, God damn!
Here's a fun fact.
That's expensive.
I wanted to make that app in college.
You should have.
And I even gave it away at a symposium. The idea.
Why would you ever do that?
Because I wasn't into programming at the time.
Oh my God, you could have. Justin, no.
But I was like, you would be sick if we could do that. Anyway, point is like those types of resources would live in there.
Yes.
And that's a channel you're personally pretty excited for.
I'm still trying to figure out some of that, because similar to another Discord that Jess and I are part of, I kind of have themes, like header themes for whenever I post something. So it'd be like, Come Grubbeth is about food. So I'm going to try
especially
to
because like a lot of those TikToks, there's like local, like there's a lot of restaurants we've learned about in Denver. Like I saw one the other day, it's called Full Afterburners. It's like a calzone restaurant. It's here in Denver, and it looked fucking sick. Like I want to try it. Anyway.
So, and again, a lot of people are going to bash TikTok, I understand. And some information can be misleading with any of these things, any of these resources we post. We know we are not experts. Any wellness stuff we post, you still want to talk to like medical professionals and things of that nature. So we're not trying to be a substitute for that. We just want to share what we found interesting or something that we've either utilized ourselves or benefited from, and just sharing it. And again, take what you need from it.
Yeah, like you said, something, and like you don't have to follow it to a T, right? Like the whole. I like the food ones because I can find new restaurants to try in the area.
Yeah, so recipes.
But it's just like some of the ones that are like, hey, life hacks or whatever.
Yeah.
Things like that. I'm just like, well, I might not use that one specifically, but that did inspire me to try something else or whatever. And I think that's another reason I like that channel.
Yeah.
I think the channel we haven't talked about that I want to do is the Glizzy Gladiator channel. And all it is like where you can find the best glizzies around town. Okay. Anywho, next on the list.
Well, that's semi-related to... and someone else actually wanted like an AR channel.
AR would be fun.
But that AR for
AR
just
glizzies?
pure... No.
Okay.
Just for Pokemon, to where people can show off. And I think that'd be kind of a cool channel to make there,
Yeah,
too.
what if they made a hot dog Pokemon?
They could. They have Fido.
The Glizzy Pokemon. Yeah, there is Fido, which is a bread dog.
Yeah, he's a bread dog, and
That's
I wonder
cute.
what he's gonna grow up into.
I was hoping.
Why do you think he's gonna be a loaf like a wiener dog?
Oh no, I was thinking like a doe Burman pincher.
Cute. Like again, there's lots of options. So, and again, Fido is gonna be part of the Scarlet and Violet.
That's part of the Gen 9 Pokemon. You guys are like, they keep running out of fucking ideas, and you're like, yeah, but there's a bread dog now.
There's a bread dog.
There's Weed Cat.
There's
which
an
turns
Olive.
into Crystal Meth Cat now.
Is that going to be Crystal Meth Cat?
Well, think about it, because the new thing in Scarlet Violet's like the crystallizing of your Pokemon, so it goes from Weed Cat
again, Crystal Onyx was the OG.
Crystal Meth.
He started it.
It's a great time. But anyway, we'll have a channel for those resources.
Yes.
On the Discord.
And so, kind of going, we also had feedback. So the top 3 kind of themes for feedback were involving rating, improving communications, and socializing.
Well, and feedback, was that like just kind of an open-ended, like, can you give us some feedback? And that's what they talked about?
Yeah, it was just like, it's just comments, so it was open, but those were the top 3 themes I could find.
So rating, improving communications, and socializing.
Yes.
Okay. And like that,
Just
that is reflected in some of the things we've already discussed. But to that point, that's really important, especially for our community. Again, we talk about, how the community was pre-COVID, for instance, and that shit was going on all the time. The raid channels were popping. How the raid bots worked was crazy. Communications, always work on communications no matter what. Even when times are good, you still want to be able to communicate. Yeah. And then the socializing aspect, we hosted a great luau barbecue where we roasted a whole fucking pig. And we had a whole bunch of people bring out a bunch of food. And, like, that was a great time for everyone. We had prizes. And that was a great social event. And those are things that we'd still like to do. But we want to be able to make our, Discord a place.
Yeah.
To kind of, to bring people together and really make everyone kind of cognizant of the things that we're trying to do.
And, like, one of the comments I saw, again, I took to heart because it's related to this podcast, was, like, stop tagging everyone in it. So I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Or like everywhere in here. So I was like, all right. So I took that off.
The at everyone and at here tags, yes.
Yeah. Well, I thought at here was just for people who were present in the local.
So it's for anyone who is able to access that channel.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I was incredibly wrong. So I do deeply apologize for that. I thought it was just for people who are active in the channel now to be like, hey, look, something new.
Oh, no, it's for anyone that has access to the channel. So it's very similar to at everyone if everyone has access to the channel.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, I deeply apologize for that. So that's something, as soon as I read that comment twice, I was like, this is done. Like, if I post a podcast, like, I'll just put it there and just say subscribe.
Well, and not for nothing, though. There's a balance of what we should, like, and like we talked about it even in our lead chat, behind the scenes, about what should be accessed, at everyone or at here type deal. If it's the podcast, like, we love that you guys are listening to it and we're trying to advertise it and things like that. That's usually why that tag was used, but we understand not everyone cares or anyone wants to look at that. So maybe we'll give, like, if you're interested, there's a podcast role we make or whatever, and like, hey, at podcast peeps, come check out After Raid Hours. That could also, if anyone else has other podcasts that they want to promote, same idea, but it's like local announcements. Like, I think if we're pairing up with a big a charity, for instance, maybe that is one that's okay for at everyone, because it's like, hey, we want to get everyone's attention.
Yeah,
this is something we're doing as a community.
Yeah, I'll just keep it, if I do it myself, like me personally as Jack1620, will be for, like, if it's tied to something charity related, or it is like a major update,
or it's like, hey, we're gonna have the Lure Luau, 2.0
a community event.
A big community event that might be good for at here or at everywhere, or at everyone. But I understand because I'm a notification snob on my 30 Discord.
Yeah, you have a lot.
I don't like notifications. I don't like getting and I have my notifications on my phone, so if I do get tagged, it pops up immediately. And like part of that is like maybe I'm just too connected to a lot of things, and that's something I need to work on. But like on the other hand, it's just like, okay, I don't need all this. And like not for nothing, like it's not. I haven't really had much of an issue of it with Aurora Masters, but there's some Discords I'm in where it's just like at everyone, and it's just like it's an ass joke. Great, like thank you.
How could they?
Why am I even here? But it's like things like that. So I definitely taking that into consideration. But that's part of this, kind of restructuring where we're like, okay, we're gonna come up with new tags. That's something you wanted to do. Yeah. New tags and new things. What are people interested in? And that's something I think we can probably push out. Maybe like kind of update people, right? So like you can.
Well, I think that'd be like an everyone tag and be like, hey everybody.
Right.
Here's this, and this is how you do it.
I guess my point was going to be, like, you do that now, but maybe in 3 months, you're like, hey, it's time to update everyone's tags because maybe people's interests have shifted, or maybe they moved, they're not part of this thing, or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're still in the Discord because maybe they don't know how to leave the Discord, but, like, really, though, it's like, hey, like, are you interested? Ratings starting to pick back up. There's actually cool raids out. We got good raid trains going. We have incentives to do raiding now. So now every time you come raid, I'll give you a $5 gift card to Pleasures or something. I'm
like looking at you like, what prize are you thinking of? That's serious. I should have known.
Super cereal, guys. But like maybe we do something like that. But anyway, point is like, are you interested in raiding now? After 3 months, after seeing people, it's like, oh, I've been kind of like hesitant because I don't know the area yet. Now that I've lived here for 3 more months, I kind of know the area. I'm happy to try to do that. So like people's interests might change. So maybe, like I said, maybe we do that. We do a check every like quarter or season or blah blah blah.
I was wondering if it could be something like how they assign the role, like they do in
like they self-assign the roles.
Yeah. So you could say like, I am raiding. So it just says, so then I can do like a raider tag. And anyone who has who says that they're raiding will get tagged.
Correct.
Or you could tag them to things, and then it'll pop out as a notification.
Yeah, and that is very doable. Like you can have people self-assign roles and unassigned roles, so we can do it that way too.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
But some people might not be privy to that or might not understand like that. And then part of that is how do we give them the instructions, right? Like, hey, you're directed to
and that's where
the new tag yourself channel or something like that, and like there's going to be a series of questions. What team are you? What area do you live in? What do you want to do? Are you here for raiding? Are you here for catching? Are you here for blowies? Are you here for like whatever? Like
I'm just like
my NSFW channel's not here, and it will never be here, but it's here in spirit.
Jesus,
hit me up if you want that. But like it would just be cooking channel stuff. Like it's NSFW for me because food's sexy.
It's
so
food porn. Jesus.
It's just Food Wars nonstop.
Yeah, because you asked that like out loud and at Pokemon.
Well, I did that on purpose,
and I was like, "Oh my god!"
That is completely on purpose.
And then like the glances are like, "Are you gonna have that?"
Yeah,
like,
everyone wants
it. Not here.
People don't know what they want until they have it. Okay.
Oh my god.
Anywho, point is like there's a lot of cool things that we can do. That I think the roles is really important. Things that we can do, and we can rotate. Like, people can tag themselves and untag themselves or whatever.
Yeah.
We can still rotate roles in the future. So maybe, like, every season to go, for instance, are you a goer? Next season's, like, season of ass. Are you an asser? I don't know, like, or whatever.
That's a lot.
It doesn't, but it is a lot. But, like, it really gets down to
I also don't have that many abilities.
It's kind of like, not yet. But, like, but it's, like, the specifics on what people do want, don't want. Again, do you want to know about After 8 Hours updates? Tag yourself, and you're an After 8 Hours or whatever cool pun name we come up with for followers of the Holy Church of After 8 Hours.
What should we call followers of the After 8 Hours podcast? Delinquents?
I mean, they would be delinquents if they're
Scum.
following our scum. Nah, maybe not scum. It's really just Team Skull. Everyone's just doing the Team Skull.
No, what would we say for After 8 Hours?
I don't know, but I want it to have ass.
Ass.
We'll figure it out in the future. But anyway, point is like, if you want that tag, you can go tag yourself. But I know 1,000 other people might not be interested in that, so that's why we have that tag. And then like in the future, it's like, hey, after raid hours, like instead of just doing podcasts in general, or maybe they do want podcasts in general, but it's like after raid hours, but then there's like another wholesome podcast that comes out, and it's just like family friendly and stuff, and like
whack.
They want to promote it, and they're like, hey, you know, like, this is Bagles and what's a bee Pokemon? Burmys. I don't know. Like
Burmys and Bagles.
Burmys and Bagles. You know, that's my podcast.
Welcome.
We talk about planting stuff and Pokemon in a wholesome light.
Oh, that'd actually be really dope. I would join that.
So anyway, point is,
because I have plants and I'm a plant daddy.
Yeah, no, plant daddy. Point is like you can either do, okay, I'm B&B, the podcast tag, or I can just podcast in general, and it would give you updates anytime after 8 hours, and Bagels and Burmys gets updated, or something like that. So, point is like we have a lot of flexibility with those, and those are things that we can do on our end as leads, and obviously we're up for feedback for that kind of stuff. But it's like, hey, how do you feel about assigning your own roles, but maybe we update the roles. We still update the roles every 3 months or something based on kind of what's happening. What's the haps with the craps. And there's some like evergreen roles that will always be there, like raiders.
Yeah.
Breeder is a weird role to give someone, but
that is.
It'd be fun.
Just like the innocent people aren't going to know what we're talking about, which is good.
Okay.
Just like how like for my construction, there's the pay group.
Yeah.
And it's like paving, earthworking, like ground.
And the pegging group, is that what
the
you're
pegging
saying?
group,
Yeah, okay.
And I just laugh every time their name comes up, and they don't understand why.
Hey, peg.
And I'm like, I know you guys are purely missionary, like you guys know nothing else.
Lights off, missionary only.
Oh God, yes, that's what I imagine for them, because they had no reference. No one even cracked a smile but me. So I was just like,
I would have got it. Yeah, it'd be a great time.
Goodness.
Yo, we should drop an album. We'll talk about pegging.
An album?
Yeah, and we'll talk about peg.
Well,
performance enhanced
gaming,
yeah, got it.
Peggers. That is your new followers.
Your new tag is the peggers. But yeah, so that was pretty big. And then like you said earlier, there's like also recommendations for like gamer channels, like AR photo channel, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah. So the other channels I kind of came up close, I did at least put
jobs.
Were between 40 and 50% approval.
So those are like potentials.
Those are
the outliers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So job promotions and opportunities. So like if you knew of like positions, or if you had a job that you wanted to promote out, you could do it in that channel, and other players could potentially apply.
Like we're hiring like crazy, or like you hear the horror stories at like Jay's job. Not that I want anyone to have to do all that, but like
let's be specific of which Jay. So this is our friend from our childhood friend Jay.
Jeff. Not call him Jeff.
Jeff. Not Vilro. Vilro's awesome.
No, Jay, you're cool.
And does no wrong. And makes awesome cookies. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day that we get cookies. I might actually just die once it hits my mouth. It's just ecstasy. But Jeff. Like his job, they're always looking for people.
High turnover.
Very high turnover, which might scare other people, but sometimes you need a job. But anyway, I think that might not be a bad thing. That kind of fits into the go beyond section, right? Like we're trying to help take care of our community, and maybe that's a decent place. Now we're not going to be the next like temp office to help people get jobs, but it'd be cool to pump that, or like job promotions and opportunities. Jack's brother could potentially detail your car, right?
For example.
For instance, for example, and you're just like, hey, I would love that. I would love to have my car detailed. Reach out on job promotions and opportunities.
Yeah.
Or something
and again,
like that.
And I was saying about that for people who have like Etsy pages.
Etsy side hustles,
things like that,
full
like,
hustles, yeah.
Yeah, or like I also thought of like Fluffy D and everything for like the pool cleaning services that they provide. So I know they hire people too.
Absolutely.
And I was like, that would be dope for them to give, because to me that's supporting the community. The other interests were Pokemon TCG. So TCG is trading card game.
Trading card
game. there was
cardboard
interest in that at like 46%.
So that's pretty close.
So to me, that's a pretty close one. If people like the trading card game stuff, and that could be like resources if they hear of tournaments. If people
places to buy.
Yeah, if anyone's trying to get rid of bulk.
Well, like
I have plenty of bulk. Justin has bulk. My roommate has lots of cards, and maybe we could just convert it from maybe Pokemon to just TCG. But I know there was pretty low. I would keep
that to Pokemon TCG.
Yeah, there was pretty low Magic.
If there's anyone interested in Magic or what, like Banani, for instance. Yes. Banani and I talked about Magic for like hours.
Yeah, you guys.
Things like that. So it's like we can, if people are interested, we can introduce a different channel for that. I would keep Pokemon TCG kind of separate because it's a little different. Like some people niche. Play, but a lot more people collect and purchase TCG or Pokemon TCG versus Magic. Like a lot of people play.
Yeah. Plus, we've had random people like offer cards and like do stuff of that nature. Yeah. So it would be kind of nice to tie into that to some degree.
Just like be a neighborhood resource, like you said. Like
plus, we could really promote Dueling Lands.
Dueling Lands a great one.
Go over there. Go do stuff.
They are pretty great. They're
trying to boost their Pokemon TCG community too.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be huge. That's a good one for promote. You can still promote like Crit Castle and stuff too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just any local cards.
I think that would be a good one, like you said, because it's just like job promotions opportunities. Someone's like, hey, I just want to sell my cards. I don't know what to do with them anymore. I'm getting married, getting rid of my cards. So
what do you want for it at that time?
No, it's like
it's like lagging. Oh my gosh, that's weird.
We broke it.
We had a weird. We're both looking at the screen and wasn't moving. So I was like, did you stop it? But no, I think that'd be sweet in terms of like the cards and promoting other things. That's why I didn't want to completely disregard those because I think those would still be kind of cool channels. And I think especially because we didn't have the highest participation for the survey. So I think maybe as more people kind of come online again, join the good matrix of Aurora Masters Discord, and plug back in, that they might be like, oh, this is dope. This wasn't here before.
No, I think
so. That's why I was like, I think that would be kind of cool. Plus, again, for anyone who is new to the Discord, if there are problems, if you see someone post something inappropriate, hateful, whatever, tag the leads at literally say at leads or at lead.
Yeah.
And then we can hop in and just be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, or even like recently, I'm not sure if you saw, but there was like a bot that got in and it posted like, I think it was like a Pornhub Discord in every single one of our channels.
Are you serious?
And so like someone eventually kind of tagged someone, was like, hey, like get out of here, we be gone thought type deal. So, and I went through and I actually cleaned up all the channels.
Okay.
So I deleted that. No, I got to it as quick as I could because I didn't notice it, but I noticed like little blip. Oh, I didn't get a notification per se, but sometimes you get like it's like you see over here where it's like a little white blip.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that means there's a new post in there. I have it muted, but I can still see new posts. Anyway, that's how mine thing's set up. Oh. I saw that for our masters, and I was like, okay, every channel was lit up, and I was like, oh, there's a new post in every channel. And I go in, and it's like that bot posting that stuff. So the bot got
son of a bitch.
The bot got removed or banned, and then I went through and I cleaned up every channel to try to get that out of there.
Thank you.
But it's just like instances like that. But like you said, if you're having an issue with somebody, flag a lead, flag someone, and we'll get it taken care of and handled. We don't have a lot of time left, but I just wanted to touch on a couple things coming up. We do have the Go Fest finale event. I'm very disappointed.
Because of the cowboy lack thereof.
Because there's no cowboy hats on our legs.
Yeah, that was a major ball drop for them.
There's a couple of other interesting Pokemon, I guess, and I'm kind of excited for the rest of the Ultra Beasts that we haven't had access to per se.
Mm-hmm. The 1-star rays look dope.
These two look dope.
Shiny Axew, baby.
There's an Axew and Rockruff. That's
wait,
cool.
You don't want the new costume Pikachu? Because he'll be there.
All right, this podcast is over. But really though, there's some pretty interesting things still out there. I would still like more shiny Woobat, Karablasts. There's some of those that are pretty cool.
Where's Shelmet? Did he not make the cut?
It's down here.
Okay.
It's with circuitry. So it's like
they break it down in hours.
The way they broke it down is there's an ultra incursion every 2 hours, and each 2 hours. It's gonna so instead of like a habitat.
What day is this? Is this the 27th?
This is the 27th, which is a Saturday, I believe.
All right, bet this is gonna be a busy day.
Absolutely.
Oh shit! Son.
It is. Yeah, it's a Saturday. So, long story short is instead of the habitats like, oh, you're going to the trash city or you're going to the forest or whatever, they broke it down into the ultra incursion. So each ultra beast will be incurring every 2 hours. So the first one will be Pheromosa.
Okay.
And then it's going to move on from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. local time. It's going to move to Buzzswole from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. local time. Then it's going to move to Xurkitree, and then it's going to move to Nihilego. Nihilego, just to remind everyone, was the first one that we had access to on the Global Go Fest. Buzzswole, Pheromosa, and Xurkitree were at the in-person Go Fests around the world. So basically, during those times, the Ultra Incursion of Pheromosa, you'll get access to the new Pikachu. There's Scyther, Pinsir, Sudowoodo, Hitmontop, Meditite, Anorith, Kricketot, Woobat, and Karrablast. And then that's when Pheromosa will be in raids.
Okay.
Moving on, same thing's going to be happening. 12 to 2, it's going to rotate the available Pokemon. So, Machop, Geodude, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Magmar, Numel, Cranidos, Drillbur, and Axew. That's cool because that'll be in the wild.
Hell yeah.
From 12 to 2, and that'll be Buzzswole. So that's going to be, unfortunately, I want more of these, but I want to raid Buzzswole. So it's just like, because Buzzswole is going to be really good. Next one will be Xurkitree. I like Xurkitree. You got the Pikachu, Electabuzz, Electrike, Lileep, Shinx, the Sandy Burmy. Ooh.
Random.
Combee, which I feel like I've caught about 1,000 male Combee.
I'm ready for just a shiny boy. Because he's like orange.
Yeah. Fungus, Joltik, Shelmet, Stunfisk. They use a picture of regular Stunfisk. Okay, I was thinking Galarian. And then, so that'll be Xurkitree. And then the last one to round out the day from 4 to 6 p.m. will be Nihilego again, Bulbasaur, randomly. Pikachu, Clefairy, Tentacool, Chansey, Tangela, Ammonite, Chikorita, Turtwig, Plant Burmy, Munna, that can be shiny. I'd like to catch that one. That's new. Frillish, Swirlix, shiny Swirlix, and Skrelp. During the entire thing, on your incense, you can get unknown BGNOPSX.
Cool. And yeah.
Sure.
That's dope.
During the Ultra Incursions, also, so during Pheromosa, if you have an incense on, you get Galarian, Mr. Mime, and Pansage. During Buzzswole, it'll be Torkoal and Pansear. So this is an opportunity to get regionals and... Well, other regionals, because the monkeys are regionals too. Mm-hmm. And then during Xurkitree, you'll get Panpour and Clink. And then during Nihilego, you can get Tropius and Frillish. And then there's some raids happening. So again, during those times, you'll have access to the Ultra Beasts. Now in that last hour, it's not only Nihilego; it'll actually be all 4 popping up in raids between 4 and 6.
Oh, that's helpful.
So that's really cool. And then in regular raids, 1-star raids, you got the Pikachu, which is whatever, but you got the Axew and Rockruff, which can be shiny. Those are cool. And then in 3-star raids, they're showing Snorlax, but it's not Cowboy Hat Snorlax. It could be.
See, I'm wondering if maybe that's just a mess up. Because I think him to be there, I think, was a good feature. Especially if it was Cowboy Hat. It's just no one's talked about it. So my hope is that he's there. And again, with the 1-star raids... Again, if you want them, go for them. But with Axew, I feel every dragon has their day.
Yeah.
Rockruff.
I think Rockruff will have it.
He should have his day because he has like literally three final evolutions.
Forms, yeah.
So people are going to want that. And I don't think Niantic would not give the people what they want for that. So again,
I think both of those will eventually have their community day.
Yeah, I wouldn't have too much FOMO, fear of missing out on those boys. So, and again, every legendary does cycle back these beasts. If you, for some reason, want to prioritize catching Pokemon, which I understand, these beasts don't have their shiny forms yet. So just know they'll come back.
Yeah,
they have to have a shiny form.
They're probably going to cycle through the rest of the Ultra Beasts, and then eventually have another Ultra Beast type event, and then probably release the shinies and stuff. Then, but regardless,
the main thing we're trying to say is don't get FOMO.
Yeah, don't let FOMO rule you. You know, kind of take it at your time, your speed. It's going to be a day. Again, 10 to 6.
That's a long ass day.
Literally 8 hours. Basically going to feel like a work day, but at least you're playing Pokemon, hanging out with friends. Hopefully, you may be eating
Get
good
some
grubs.
food.
Take your time, enjoy yourselves, hydrate.
Plan for the weather.
Yeah, it could be rainy, it could be sunny. Just get a big hat.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter either way. You can get cool items, I guess. Munna and Masharna will be shiny. They look cool. The unknowns can be shiny. And yeah, so that'll
look
be...
at that Buzzwole suit.
That's kind of cool.
Looks
I want
dope.
the big boobies. So I went with the jellyfish hat, actually. Let's check
The
that
jellyfish
shit
hat
out.
looks pretty dope.
But yeah, so that'll be the Go Fest finale event, which is kind of neat. And then at the end of the month will be the end of the season to Go.
Which is wild. Like,
Pretty
it's been
curious.
and again, hopefully y'all are doing your trades, those 2 special trades a day. I know I am because of my orphanage of accounts, and I'm trying to get as many things traded as I can because this is such a good opportunity. And again, like, I actually got to meet up with Banani. We're talking about trading for international. I think that's been a big topic, and I really hope that Pokemon comes through with. We'll see what's going on with Campfire. I haven't heard too much feedback on it.
Yeah, I wish I had
haven't even
access to
downloaded
it. So
well, I thought it was a second party app, but
it is a third party app.
Is it third party? I haven't even checked it, but I'm just like, whatevs. But I just don't hear many people using it, so we'll see. Because that was something as part of like the whole ambassador thing that they're like.
We talked about last time. Yeah, you have to be on
but
Campfire.
I don't hear many people talk about it, so that's kind of a concerning point.
You have to organize through Campfire. So,
yeah.
Long story short, there's a lot of interesting things on the horizon. Niantic, just open up global trading or let me trade fucking mythics. That's all I care about. Outside of that, thanks for sitting down with us, listening to our sultry voices.
Yes.
And
yes.
We love you. We'll
have a good one. Be safe. Be smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.